Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to do our updated team for the World Cup 2026 SuperCoach game. So at the time of recording, kicks off in 10 days time, but probably be about a week out by the time I publish this video. So pretty sure all the squads should be named by now. So based on the latest information, we've got the updated team. So we'll run through it. I just realised I probably should have all of it on screen. And in goal, there might be a bit of an unfamiliar name there. Ipolo from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I guess the reason why we've picked this particular player is to try and take advantage of the vice-captaincy loophole. So if you've played NRL, AFL SuperCoach before, you should be familiar with the concept where your vice-captain, play him first. If he scores well, you move the captaincy to a non-playing player, and then you get the vice-captaincy score as your captain. So the reason why I've gone with Ipolo is a combination of the fact that he is the third choice keeper. According to my research, there at the Democratic Republic of Congo, probably was a team where I wasn't going to pick two other players from there, so I was happy to burn one of my DRC allocations to the goalkeeper, and also the fact that they play quite late, so playing in the last sort of day of each round means that it gives us as much opportunity to get the vice-captaincy score, and obviously move the captaincy off. So we've got him on field. Basically, we imagine he'll be auto-emergencied every game with Thibaut Courtois from Belgium. So plays for, does he still play for Real? Pretty sure he does. But world-class goalkeeper. Belgium have a pretty easy group, so expecting a couple of clean sheets there. So yeah, happy just to set and forget on Courtois for now. In defence, so sort of gone with a bit of a scatter approach in terms of the nationalities, but wanted to sort of have a couple of the bigger teams focused more in the forward and midfield lines. So what I've gone for is looking at potentially attacking wing backs. The first one is probably the biggest question mark. David Alaba, playing for Austria. So in the past he has played as a very aggressive left wing back, even to a left winger, to a centre mid. I guess he probably plays more nowadays as a central defender, which probably limits his attacking output. But Austria do have a nice fixture first up against Jordan, so I think we can play him comfortably. Probably expecting a clean sheet from Austria. We'll lock in those points, see where he's positioned, and we can make a move from there. Munoz for Colombia. So in my initial team, I had a couple of Colombians because they have a nice fixture too. First up, if I can find them, I'll probably scroll away. So against Uzbekistan. I'm beating up on the Asian teams here a little bit, but probably just that jump in quality to the European and the South American teams. So Munoz is very attacking wing back. We know him from Crystal Palace fame. So yeah, happy to have him in the squad. João Cancelo, so he used to be an FPL lock in the past when he was at Man City, has obviously moved on. But Portugal played the DRC in their first game. You imagine he'll have one of those wing-back spots locked down. So happy to start with him. And then Rodriguez. So Switzerland, famously very solid defensive team. Always perform well in the group stages of the World Cup. And they've got Qatar first up. So another Asian team that I'm picking on there. But I think, as we said, defensively solid. Has the potential for maybe an attacking stat due to the playing wing back. So yeah, Rodriguez is in. And then Alphonso Davies is finally in the game. So another really attacking wing back. So for Canada, could play, even as more of a wing player, very advanced. Obviously, home ground advantage is going to be massive as well. Um, and an interesting fixture first up against Bosnia. Not too sure which way that's going to go, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, again, it's a bit like an alibi pick. We can sit and have a look at how he's being played in that role, how Canada as a team are looking, um, and then obviously, he can stay there as long as Canada's still a part of it all, I suppose. So then up front or midfield first, I suppose, but tried to go for very attacking picks. Um, so I wanted to target Spain with their fixture against Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, I suppose is the Spanish way of saying it, which is how you're supposed to say it, or Portuguese way. I forget what language they speak, to be honest. Apologies there. Um, but I think Pedri would be the most attacking midfielder, from what I can tell. Obviously, Rodri would be a very deep lying midfielder. And then after that, I'm not too sure. There's obviously a lot of options there, but I think Pedri would be the main sort of man in that number 10 type role. So I've got him in. I've gone with a couple of probably maybe they're two tens if they roll that sort of system. Wirtz and Musiala for Germany. So they've got Curacao first up. So you imagine that would be a nice fixture to get some attacking scores done. And then I know the rest of their group is not the worst either. So doubled up on the German midfield, attacking at mid options. And then currently I've got the two midfielders on the bench, Bellingham and Elise. So Bellingham, I think, is going to be a big part of England's tournament. And I've got England as a smoky chance to win the whole thing. So, um, yeah, obviously the tough fixture against Croatia first up. And, like when I guess the fixtures get a little bit trickier for these guys, Bellingham will have slightly easier fixtures at that time. So, just one to bank for future rounds. And then Michael Elise is the other one. So probably more of a forward, but listed as a midfielder, which is very handy for this game. France do have a toughish fixture against Senegal first up, and a tough group as well if you consider Norway's there as well. Um, but I think he is a good shout to get a start on the wing. Obviously, there's a lot of talent there, so this is a bit like a couple of these other speculative picks where we pick them, we can have a look in the first game, and if they get the role that we hope, we keep. If not, I think we get 6 trades each round. So there's no stress in that sort of pick, particularly given the way I've got the rest of the team. I could look at 3-4-3 or even the classic 2-5-3. But I do like some of these defenders. So I haven't quite landed on the formation yet. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm leaning to having another one of these guys on field. And then up front, I guess couldn't go past the great man Lionel Messi. Nice fixture against Algeria first up. Surely this is his final World Cup. And a bit like the last World Cup, I think they'll build the Argentine squad around, get the ball to Messi, essentially, let him do his thing. So we'll have a crack there. Lamine Yamal. So again, Spain's fixture we've already talked about. Um, I'm not too sure again with their depth what the front three looks like. I think he's the most nailed on, given that he's one of the best players in the world. So at such a young age, a bit like Kylian Mbappe, looking to really stamp himself in this World Cup. I think Yamal will do that. And then Erling Haaland, so probably the biggest out and out 9 here, particularly considering Poland didn't qualify, so we've got no Lewandowski. I guess Harry Kane you could put into that conversation, But again, the fixture against Dallas, we might wait a week and then um, trade for Harry Kane. But you look at these three, who do you trade out? Like, I think that's the hardest thing is just it's a roll of the dice which three absolute studs you want to get in. Obviously, we haven't gone with Mbappe. Um, yeah, it's Cristiano Ronaldo obviously is the main man there at Portugal. We've talked about their nice fixture. Um, yeah, so it's just take your pick of who you like. Um, yeah, so like I think Kane will play a role in future rounds. Cristiano Ronaldo very much could as well. Yeah, it's just a case of trying to hit the target with who's going to do well in which game week. So I think it'll be good for that reason. Is just that there can be so many great combinations, and obviously no budget, lots of trades. So um, yeah, there's lots of possibilities around how it can go, which is pretty interesting. Um, so yeah, so if you're interested in having a go, join the league. So we've got 33 entries already, which is unreal. Um, I don't think I can give a shout out to everyone, but I'll just do a bit of a scroll through. So the Anzac World Cup squad. So Mark's just going for Australian and New Zealand picks, no doubt. Fantastic. Um, few familiar names here as well, so it's good to see. Um, I don't know, nothing too outrageous in terms of pun names. I don't think. Too cool for school. That's a throwback reference there. Nice one, Blake. Any holes of goal, Sam? Well, shout out to you, legend. Happy Curacao. Lockie's obviously a Tigers man who's getting involved, which is good stuff there too. So yeah, if you do want to join in, the league code 841751, or just use the link in the description if that makes your life a lot easier. Obviously, feel free to throw in any comments, questions, thoughts regarding the team. Shout out to the commenter who tipped me in on making sure I remember to do the vice captain loophole with the goalkeeper this time. I sort of didn't really do that in EPL and made things a bit tricky sometimes. Probably more so the fact that games are on at midnight and 1 a.m. and all that made it a bit trickier, but it is what it is. But yeah, get involved in the comments section. Give us a like if you're keen for the World Cup. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.